next series, just in case you guys wanted to see this one. I don't know. I don't know. You guys think this is a cool matchup? Maru, our red Terran player in the top left-hand side, taking on the blue Protoss bottom right Trap. I'm just gonna say, if you're watching this on YouTube, because let's face it, who's not gonna put Maru Trap on YouTube? I definitely am. If you're watching this on YouTube, do hit the like button if you like the video. It helps this YouTube channel out a whole bunch. Or consider subscribing to YouTube as well. Appreciate it. And just thought I'd put that one out there, because, like I say, if I don't put this one on YouTube, I'm taking crazy pills or something, I'm telling you. Man, that TvT we just came out of in the round of... What even round is this? This is round of 8? The round of 16 TvT we just came out was epic. So, in the process of us casting 2 TvT best of 3s, the entire other side of the bracket is played out, and they've already got 1 player in the finals. that is how epic and long these TvTs have been a day, so hell yeah to that. As we get ourselves into this, like I said, GSL semi-final preview, this is going to be an odd match, because both of these players absolutely look at this series and they say, huh, we are going to play each other in GSL in, like, you know, what? A couple days? What day is it? Tuesday? We play GSL in 2 days' time? You know, 2 days from now, this series will have been played in GSL. So they look at each other here, and I really think they look at each other and say, well, what do we do? Like, do we play regular? Do we play standard? Do we try and cheese each other? Do we play silly? Because you can look at this 2 ways. One side is, you know, obviously, these guys probably value GSL more. So do they want to reveal their builds? Probably not. But this series has so much going on because it's a chance to maybe send the wrong vibes to your opponent for the GSL series. You can use some wonky builds and maybe play on that when you play in GSL. There is the idea of you actually just kind of get information about your opponent. Like I said, you can give real info, fake info. I don't know. I feel like this series is actually going to be really wonky. So if you see a couple of things that maybe... I think we're going to probably see these guys doing very vanilla basic builds that are not super fancy or anything along those lines. Because I don't think they want to give too much away. Like I say, the only thing I think where this gets really crazy is maybe if one guy's like, if I use this build now and I do something similar in the GSL match, maybe I can like take an advantage or make him think something there that, you know, he is not meant to think, the sort of thing. That's the only way I would kind of imagine this gets super wild or so, to be honest. It is a blink opening, and it is just a Widowmine drop from Maru, so both sides of this are already playing into a pretty regular setup. Like I say, so far it doesn't look like we're going to have too much crazy going on. There's our Stalker and the Adept. I'll pull it back to the main base. Now we do have the Widowmine already building from Maru, so it's going to be, again, this Widowmine drop setting up. Looks like the Marines collecting together too. We might even see a Marine Widowmine drop. That or he's just preparing to deal with like an Oracle flying in once everything joined up together. He does have the bunker and a few Marines at the front on the natural, so he doesn't really have to worry too much about what's going on over there. Which even more so maybe makes me think maybe we see too many Marines now to load up though. So I guess not. I thought for a moment or two maybe there's some possibility or something like that. There's our medevac gonna go flying through. So here we go with a couple of Widowmines making their way across down to the bottom right hand side. We are gonna see this Nexus building on the third base already. So from Trap it's just straight up go to 3 bases nice and quickly, not mess around too much. The 2 Widowmines are going to drop into the back of this mineral line. First Widowmine burrows up. Second Widowmine comes up as well. Kaboom! Hits a Stalker. That's not bad. I mean, you lose 1 mine, but then you get a Stalker kill. I mean, is that worth it over 2 probes? Stalker's pretty expensive. Not something you really want to be losing early in the game, so... yeah. Okay. I can get behind killing off the Stalker. I mean, you also keep the medevac alive as well, which is good news. So that's obviously an added bonus here for Maru as well. That medevac still being around. That's just going to pull itself back up through this top side. Some Stalkers advancing toward the left. And, well, meanwhile, Maru just going into the bioarmy stim. +1 attack. He got a Raven up early. He's got a Siege Tank out right now. He hasn't had to defend anything too particular initially. The Observer's going to see the Raven, so you don't make a play there. Observer has to stay back. Yeah, this is kind of it for the moment. It's going to be a scan, and the Observer is going to fall. So has to scan for the Observer, but I mean, at least if the Terran scans for the Observer, you never want to lose the Observer as trap, but at least he has to scan for it. At least you didn't just fly it straight into the Raven, you know? If you fly it straight into the Raven, then you're giving it money for free. When you're scanning for it, you spend resources on actually being able to deny it. As you have the stock count still just kind of setting out the front of this base. Obviously, this is just a question of Maru waiting to push out for his upgrades, so I don't think we'll see too much happen until he gets those upgrades finished now. Observer is just gonna siege momentarily. Let's try and keep an eye on things. Here comes Maru again. Upgrades are not far from finishing, but same for Trap. He's already setting up the counterattack here. This Warp Prism of Zealots gonna make its way up the top side. So Prism of Zealots moving around the top. Maru's gonna see these few Stalkers looking to try and get aggressive here. He just lifted up his mines to make sure they aren't gonna be picked off. The thing is, mines are really valuable targets, and they're very easily picked. They have low HP. There's only a couple of them. He really obviously wants these in the army, so he puts them into the medevac to try and babysit them, keep them safe, make sure they're not going to run into trouble before he gets them into the place he wants to actually utilize them in. Stalkers, blink forward. The Bayon's just going to fight against this army, and I don't know if I like this really for Trap, as we are going to be seeing Maru continuing on through. Now the Widowmine's going to unload, and he's going to go to try and, well, dive bomb this, and okay, Widowmine's hit off on that Zealot. Trap's going to do well enough that Maru's not going to continue pushing. He is going to back this up. He's obviously got the Zealots across the map, but he actually has a lot of units to deal with this as well. Those Widow Mines derping a bit. Feels like maybe they could have gotten burrowed. And if they had gotten burrowed, maybe you could have seen an actual kill on that Prism, because then it wouldn't have gotten into the upper left-hand side. Anyways, doesn't matter too much. 3rd CC build from Maru, so he is, at the end of all of this, able to take the 3rd base location, get that set up, and able to work out of this from here, so that is absolutely a big positive as well. As on we go, there's a little bit of army going to pull back to the upper left side. Vikings are going to get rid of the Prism. It's a Prism already sniped down. A couple of Zealots coming through to try and chase down some of these units as well. This Raven's still around as well, by the way. It wasn't super noticeable in the previous fight, but still around, a bit lower HP, bit of energy on it. Trap is going to try and make his way to the bottom here. Down an upgrade. He's about to have Storm. He's also about to be down 2 upgrades. It's not going to be for this fight, though. And the Zealot count's just already gone. Force fields come down. Attempt to recall the Immortals out of here. Maru actually went for a 2nd Immortal, and I feel like that's greedy. He could have absolutely killed the Sentry there instead. Again, feels like Trap on that left-hand side just keeps being a little out of position. Maybe shouldn't be so far across and so far out there. Widowmine's here going to go off on Zealots to start. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, okay, that was just the first few Zealots, though. There's other Zealots behind it. This tank's going to try and support from afar, and there's going to be another Widowmine that actually unburrows. Maru's not happy with what was just going to be friendly fire. Deals with the Zealots, is now going to push through, but those Immortals are chunking away at Maru's army, especially against the Marauders and the Siege Tank. Widowmine actually gets to the high ground. How did it get up there? Burrows up and kills an Immortal during the fight. And that's going to be enough for Maru to push through in the end. Multiple good fights, or good starts to fight in a row. That Widowmine ran up the ramp and burrowed on top of an Immortal. You don't see that every day. I don't know. I've always liked that idea of thinking in terms of how that works. As in the top right-hand side, a red Terran player from Team NV up 1-0 is Maru. On the bottom left, it is going to be the Blue Protoss player, Trap. From the Afrika Freaks. Tell you what's actually going to be awkward, maybe more than anything else, is actually the fact that, of course, if Maru does win this, so it's just talking about who else is in this bracket. If you win this, the next few matches are like both Protoss players as well. So you're going to actually use a lot of your TvP if you're going to try and qualify here today. And maybe that is not something you really want to do ahead of that, ahead of this GSL semi-final. Because then you have even more information you're going to give out to Trap. Oof, it's tough, guys, it's tough. SCV and Probe gonna chase around in the main base. I have a next score building from Trap back at home. Actually built this first pylon here, so he goes for this single wall here. That means that this Reaper jump up spot is open, but you do just generally want to put a unit here then to defend this Reaper location. And the idea being that then you have only one place the Reaper can jump up, so it's less likely the Reaper gets by you to be able to get a scout. Just making that choice. And to be fair, if you're going to wall off one of these locations and only one, this is probably the better one, because now a pylon is exposed, whereas here, a gate and a cyber core would be exposed, so don't mind that too much. We're going to come up, nibble on that SCV. And, yeah, just very quickly, I just want to say thank you very much for the 20 gifted subs. I'm going to mention those after the series properly, but just wanted to say, as you see them, thank you so much, Terrace. Appreciate the gifted subs. Like I said, I'll read them out properly after the series. Just want to focus up on what's a pretty sick kind of games for us. So you're going to go 3cc here as Maru. So he's going to build up 3 command centers. This Adept is going to shade through. A couple of Marines are going to come in and chase that Adept away. So Adept gets pushed back. He's jumping out over to the other side. And here comes the Adept of Trap through the middle of the map as well. Blink on the way up on the Twilight Council. Okay, will come up on the follow-up. And again, the 2 Adepts together just going to go on through, up the ramp, blocked off by the depot lift. And an additional barracks about to finish. So 3cc into 2 racks. Very bio-heavy. Any potential here for Trap to maybe be aggressive? I think there would be if he was to go like 4-gate blink or so. The question is, will he go 4-gate blink? That gate came down, then the Robo. Yeah. I think it's just a 3rd base setup, right? That blink comes in nice and early on, way before the Robo, so... Yep. Alright. Just a fast expansion then from both sides, and we're going to get into a little bit more macro-focused game. Obviously, last game pretty macro-focused as well, just Maru able to take those fights with the Bio Army multiple times over. That led to his victory. It wasn't anything like super aggressive or super cheesy. I mean, it's just a, like I say, biocentric opening that's Trap definitely underestimated a couple of times. I really do feel once or twice we were out of position out over on that left-hand side of Lightshade, the bottom left central area. But you just don't need to be out there when you've got force fields and stuff. The only thing I can think of being out there is you're trying to catch this army before it gets the choice to drop into the main base or push up the ramp. And obviously that can maybe be frustrating, but... obviously didn't work out the way he tried to deal with it, so something to look at for the future. These couple of Adepts going to spread slightly. Observer leading the charge up on the top, a few Stalkers coming through. Very high Marine count here, right? I mean, Reactor Marines pretty much all game long. That's the one thing that Maru really has in his favor at the moment, is just how many units he has. Nice scan, gets that Observer, obviously denying vision. These Stalkers can see that these units are going to move out, but they get pushed back and forced to blink immediately, so not going to do a great job of slowing this down or anything along those lines just yet. So he's going to have like an en masse of units. He goes straight to 5 racks. Of course, 3cc is still playing. And yeah, with a mass of units like this, medevac count's going to start getting high. You can have a lot of potential to move around, drop around. Just a very active style of play. Because you're not going to be relying on too many factory units. I mean, the reactor coming up on that factory now, so we can start to move into Widow Mines, but even then, it's still a very mobile composition, right? It's still a composition that will look to generally move, drop, backstab you, move the Protoss army around to create opportunities elsewhere. That kind of setup in general. Nice scan to catch this observer. That's what, the second observer now? There's 2 observers dead, and observers are not only expensive, now you've got no observer on the map, by the way. If you want to build an observer, it's going to delay your next Colossus. So now you actually just don't have detection, you don't have an observer. It's pretty brutal. I mean, that's the power of catching 2 with the scan. And that's great for Maru as he comes across the map. Let's see what Trap will do here, because again, he's very limited on information with no observer. Fortunately, there's a depth on the watchtower that tells him that the army of Maru is to the top side of the map. So he does have a general idea of where this attack is going to be at. 2 options: you come up this ramp into the natural, or you drop up into the main base, basically. Or you end up looping around elsewhere. Zelt's going to take the watchtowers. A counterattack from Trap, but the counterattack last time got shut down pretty early. The Prism didn't really do much with those few Zealots that he took into the main while Maru was attacking, and it was the defense of that went so well also that definitely helped Maru to take a better position in the game. Unburrows the Widow Mines, will not let them go off on just the one Zealot. Knows that's the case, where you just can't take more damage yourself than what the Protoss takes. So yeah, Unburrows that's a deflected attempt of harassment. At the same time, Maru is pushing at the front. These few sentries, he's going to drop the force fields. They are all vulnerable. Guardian Shield doesn't last more than a second or two. Maru's going to lift up and back away, though. Doesn't want to let the force fields determine too much about this game. Let's join up with this army. And Maru is pushed back through the center. Now he still has this little squad of units on the bottom right. No medevac support for those there, as Trap is attempting to chase. Obviously, the blink intent would be great to shut that medevac down, but doesn't happen. And Maru pretty passive over here. Just going to leave a couple Widow Mines in position, maybe trying to catch some units as they move across if they come to hunt down these few units. Trap not really doing anything about that just yet. He's going to move down to the bottom. He's going to set down another Nexus. And still, half units will join on up. Now, Ghost Academy building in the main base. Getting that ready to go. This few Marauders going to stem forward. Going to get right on top of that Robo. 5 Marauders. I mean, is that just a Robo denial? I want to say probably was going to be, but actually good defense out of Trap. Units showing up, Stalkers blinking forward, anything to just stop the damage going out there. Widow Mines coming through, connecting, just slowing down the taking of the 4th base. Again, anything you can do to slow Trap down, and there's a couple of Widow Mines going to buy some time. And again, the Widow Mines are extremely frustrating right now because the observer situation. There's one observer on the map. So it's taking you a long time to get into the right place to deal with these Widow Mines and to get that observer where it needs to be. And that's all the benefit of Maru just scanning those first 2 observers of the game. You know, so much of this mine harassment has come from that. And you can just see the lack of map control and what it's resulting in. Boom. Base cancelled instantly. Just no chance. Now you've got this army on the left side. It maybe could have dropped into the main. There is a set of units on the natural expansion, so it would have been completely free sailing, but there was a chance there to get something done. Anyways, Maru's happy. He's stacking up into Ghost, so we're going to end up in a later position with all things considered. The enhanced shockwave is going to be completing soon. Maru's also 2-2, about to be against 2-2 as well, so yeah, also good on the upgrades. Zealots start to move forward, and the Bio army splits up a little bit. The Ghosts making their way forward as well. Another scan comes through. The EMP. And that's actually going to be a dead Colossus right there. As now we're going to see the rest of this Bioforce coming in as well. On top of slide, these 3 Zealots taking some damage. Ghost coming back up. Zealots are going to turn away. And that is a good chance for Maru to get some damage done. Love the pick off on a Colossus. His Prism goes down, so you're shutting down these reinforcing counterattacks. Maru just going to double CC it up as well. Typical Maru, you know, hey, if I get a chance to play macro, I'm just going to build as many CCs as I can. I'm going to get my economy in the perfect position. Now, this is awkward because he's got a lot of his ghosts out of position here, so he doesn't actually have the EMPs for this fight. That would trivialize some of this. I mean, would immediately make these Archons go down a lot faster. And obviously make the Disruptor Snipes a little easier too. So that was a little bit of a shame, as we still do see these Zealots showing up to the other side. They're going to find the third base in the end, so they had to go for a runaround to find a location they could attack into, but finally Trap has somewhere to deal some damage. The EMP just missed, I believe. I think it just missed. As these few bio units come down the ramp, and it should be the cleanup on this. But of course, the big thing for Trap is he's forced Maru's main army back home. He's been able to distract Maru, he's been able to take his attention away from positioning and attacking. And now Maru has to reset in this game a little bit if he wants to get back out onto the map again. He has to go and figure that one out still. That's a nice catch, at least for Maru, though. He's going to get these Zealots before they're able to make anything of a move. At the same time, to the bottom, you got a bio army going to go pushing along. That's not good. These Disruptors are on their own. The High Templars didn't cast a single storm. Not sure if that one on the top side had the energy. The first one did get EMP'd, sure, but the second one I think had the energy. Maru is just going to find a mate. It's not just these units. He's going to get the base as well. He just had way more than... I don't even know if he had way more than Trap was expecting. No, Trap just didn't have what he needed here. Like, that's a good set of units if you're aware of what's coming at you, I guess, because you can disrupt it to zone them out. You can drop storms to zone out the Terran. But you can't deal with that army if it just jumps on you immediately. It's just not possible. There's just no way. Stalkers are going to blink on forward. The bio army is just going to trade out as best it can. He's going to turn for a Disruptor if possible. He is going to get it at the same time, striking on the left-hand side. High Templars don't seem to have the energy just yet for storms again. He's going to unpower the Super Battery, so now Super Battery doesn't do anything. These High Templars can maybe morph an Archon. Too late, Trap. He selected the High Templar at the last second, and these few units are doing very well. Across the map, Trap's trying to try and attack forward, but quite frankly, it ain't going to work. Trap's floating money, which also doesn't help, and Maru is going to take the 2-0, moving to the semi-finals of